Mauri Orofano, this is a important little message. I feel something that I wanted to share for a while. I've just been going through my own processes up until this point, but I feel like it's time to actually just share this and communicate this with you guys, to all the followers on here. On all my social media platforms, I'll keep this pretty short and sharp. So I've been receiving a few comments about like when's the next spearfishing content coming out, blah blah blah, a few messages from people. And yeah, to be honest, whānau, there's no intention in me that is leaning towards creating any more content yet. I feel like this platform, on all my social media platforms, are a direct reflection of what is alive for me in the moment. So at the moment, I've been here in Ubud and I haven't been diving, and I've been making another aspect of me, another part of me, of my life, more important and a priority. And it's such a powerful aspect of who I am at the moment as well, whānau. I'm so excited to share it with you guys, because it involves and it relates to a lot of men out there, a lot of tāne. It's very healing, and it's been so powerful for me to experience these things, and I really look forward to sharing them. But I just wanted to be clear and communicate that my social media platform is going to be journeying more into things that's more personal with who I am and what I'm experiencing at the moment, and also that there will be little to maybe no spearfishing content on the regular. It's going to be more content about conscious relating and connecting, specifically with women, relating with myself and women, because my relationship with women has never been the strongest, healthiest relationship. And the reason why is because, which will relate to a lot of other brothers out there, is because the first woman who I fell in love with, was going through her own things, and the relationship between me and her was not healthy, okay? And that woman is obviously my mother. So mine and my mother's relationship was not a healthy relationship, and so this was the foundation for my relationship with all women, was based on my relationship with my mother. And there was a point there, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful now, and I love you, my mama, I love you, and I can say that with like all of my heart and all of my being, which feels freaking epic. Because there was a point there for a long time where I actually hated my mother because of the things. I won't go into too much detail, but I remember this resentment, this anger, this fury, this this pain that was connected to my mother. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want her to come over and see me and blah, 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 blah. So this chapter that I'm going through is about healing this mother wound, and also about me building and nurturing beautiful, healthy relationships with the feminine, with a woman. What does that look like? And I'm also in a stage or a chapter where I am exploring relationship dynamics, not just monogamous relationships, because I love exploring alternative ways of being. All of this blimmin' religious societal structure that we live in just feels freaking programmed and toxic. And so if I can go outside, find the boundaries and go outside the boundaries and see what else exists out there, this for me fuels my purpose for being here. I love going into these tapu spaces and exploring them, and these places where people are afraid to go, you know, they feel ashamed or they're filled with guilt and shame to go to these places. I love going to these places. And it's like, you know what I found when I go to these places, whānau? The first one that I went to when I started exploring this was going out into the moana alone. Knowing that even the people who I looked up to, also said, don't go in the moana alone. But they knew that because of their own fear, and also because of the message that was told to them. So I began to, this was the first time when I started pushing the boundaries and started exploring these tapu spaces and exploring Why? Why do people not want to go diving alone? Oh, because it's dangerous and you can get killed and blah blah blah. You get swept away from the ocean. And so when I started diving alone, I started to realize how my life can be so easily governed, how my actions can be governed by other people's interpretation of their fears, be governed by other people's fears. How my life can be governed by someone else's fears, how I make decisions and take action based on someone else's fear. And they don't even know where they got their fear from. So this is when I started breaking down this mental barrier and this idea around living in fear and not going places because other people said don't. And you know what happened when I went out there in the moana alone, whānau? Well, obviously, I've shared the whole journey online, but I can personally tell you right now, it's the most liberating, self-empowering, building your trust, building a deep sense of self-awareness, meditation. It's such a meditative practice to be out there alone. Your senses are through the roof. You build a relationship with the ocean, personal, epic, loving relationship with the ocean, with your food, where it comes from. These are all of these amazing benefits that I gathered from diving alone, from doing this thing where I almost didn't do it because the people who I looked up to said don't do it, and they didn't do it either. So coming back to this present moment and coming back to this journey into like open relating and non-monogamous connections, there's obviously people out there who don't resonate with that, people who may have experienced that and it wasn't for them. Whatever, that's okay. But I am so strong and so confident within myself, within my level of awareness, within where I am at my journey, with the work that I've done up until this point, to now be able to actively explore these spaces while honoring myself, because I feel it's such an important part and aspect of any connection with anything, to know, to not be swept away in the pleasures and in the emotions of things, to always check in with yourself throughout all the processes and experiences, to deeply know who you are so that you don't form any nasty little attachments and things. But these are the things you got to work through before you even get up to this point. So, wow, that went somewhere. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, and that's the journey that this page is going to be going on very shortly. Whānau, is I'm going to be start sharing content around connecting with wahine, around healthy relationships, around what it means to be a healthy man, around how I'm showing up in connections, around my forms of communication. And ultimately, I'm sharing this, and I want to share this because I feel our brothers in the tāne and in the world, our men, need this. We need this awareness, we need this medicine. And it's not only for the men, but it's also for the woman. It's for the women who have been abused by men who couldn't manage their own sexual urges, who were not connected to their heart space, who never knew about mother wounds, the wounds that they were carrying, who just completely unaware. And another inspiration for me doing this as well and sharing this is from that comment that the woman shared in the post just recently about she flinches when she goes to hug men, and that just makes me feel like, yeah, this feels like a very important medicine to share with the world. So, Mauri aroha whānau, yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing. Lots of love, lots of passion, lots of desire. Stay true to you. If that doesn't resonate with you, and if posts start showing up that you don't resonate, please feel free to unclick the follow. It's as simple as that. And I would prefer it that you follow your soul. I prefer it that you follow your intuition. You already have a guiding light, and you have tautoko and support, unseen support. If you actually just quietened yourself enough so that you could receive, you will see that you have guiding support out there as well in the ethereal realms. So unfollow if you feel like it. unfollow if you want to follow your own journey so that you're not distracted by mine. Or if you're inspired to start seeing some things that maybe you want to experience, or maybe you can invite into your own relationship or reality, then Mauri aroha, Mauri blessings. Let's go on this mean hikoi of dealing and healing our mother wounds, showing up as a safe man, as a strong man in a relationship. Mauri ora.